Now at 10, a Missouri judge makes his decision on the future of Planned Parenthood funding. Will break down the issue. Plus, Joplin looks to improve deteriorating neighborhoods in the city. We'll hear from the city manager on the new expanded team to do so. And family and friends lay to rest one of our many local World War II heroes. We visit the funeral and we'll hear from the family.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
A court rules on a dispute concerning funding for Planned Parenthood in Missouri. This is KOAM News at 10. I'm Dow Quick. Some Missouri lawmakers tried to stop Planned Parenthood from receiving any public funding. But Cole County Judge John Beadham ruled today that the funding restrictions were unconstitutional and rejected those efforts. The issue was a bill passed by the Republican-led legislature and signed by Governor Mike Parson in February to stop reimbursing Planned Parenthood for health care for low-income Medicaid patients. You can find more on the previously passed budget bill by downloading the KOAM News Now app. Kansas Governor Laura Kelly today announced nearly $3 million in support for kids exposed to drugs. The funds for the Kansas Department of Health and Environment will help better identify and support those children, increase public safety, and reduce overdose deaths. Governor Kelly says more than 140,000 Kansas kids live in environments of parents with substance use disorder, and an estimated 5,155 infants are born exposed to substances every year. A pipeline operator put a damaged section in Kansas back into service today, a little more than 3 weeks after a spill on December 7th dumped 14,000 barrels worth of crude oil into a rural creek. Canada-based TC Energy announced it's completed repairs, inspections, and testing on its Keystone pipeline in northeast Kansas to allow a controlled restart of the section from Steel City, Nebraska, near the Kansas line, to Cushing in northern Oklahoma. The city of Caney, Kansas has lost pressure on their water tower. The city is requesting that residents check their meter pits to see if the leak indicator is spinning. If you are a resident of Caney and your indicator is spinning, well, you should call City Hall during day hours. For more on the city's request, go to our website, koamnewsnow.com. An office on the first floor of Joplin City Hall will be remodeled to provide working space for an expanded team to address declining neighborhoods. In 2020, the Joplin City Council set a goal of stabilizing and cleaning up deteriorating neighborhoods as part of a strategic plan. The plan now to remodel a space in City Hall is the start of that goal.
So the citizens have asked for additional code enforcement and neighborhood improvements, and in order to do that, we of course need the staff capacity to run those initiatives and programs, and they've authorized to use the proposition use tax funds to bring those staff on. Of course, we need to house those staff in spaces, so we're going to remodel this area, the first floor, to locate those staff.
The City Council last week also advanced on first reading a construction services contract with Industrial Electric, allowing more than $78,000 for the City Hall remodeling work. Mercy Hospital in Joplin has a brand new Christmas gift of sorts. The hospital today unveiled some new C-section units on their labor and delivery floor. Father Brian Strauss from St. Peter's attended the unveiling to bless the new spaces. Joplin's largest employer is making sure its more than 4,500 workers can get from their vehicles to the office in a matter of minutes. If you visit Freeman Hospital West in Joplin, you might notice a fleet of buses making its way around the area. Fred, or Freeman Rapid Employee Delivery, moves employees from a lot south of McIntosh Circle Drive to the hospital's main entrance, the Freeman Cornell Bashore Cancer Institute, and the David A. Ball Medical Building.
It's very beneficial to us as we provide a lot of parking for our patients. Most of the employees park in the back lot, and Fred delivers us quickly and rapidly.
On average, a Fred bus drives 15,000 miles each year to move employees around the hospital campus. Let's check in with Doug Heddy for a first look at the weather.
Well, it definitely turned out to be a warm day for us today. Very windy day once again as well as our temperatures. Look at this record high. 71 is where we topped out. 69, the old record set back in 1984. We started this morning at 60 degrees. At least the winds have finally calmed down. We had winds gusting upwards of 40, 42 once again during the afternoon, but you can see we have a little wind shift line that's working through. So that is a weak little cold front. So we're going to usher in some cooler air. Most of us now dropping back into the 50s, and eventually we'll drop into the 30s later on tonight. A lot of clouds, couple little showers, kind of clipping Benton County over toward Branson. Most of us are going to end up staying on the dry side as most of the rain stays off to our south and to our east. But our temperatures are going to cool down. We're going to drop back through the 30s, overnight low down to about 37. What about the holiday weekend? We're going to look at that coming up here in just a bit.
See you soon. Family and friends laid to rest today a World War II veteran in Baxter Springs, Kansas. KOAM's Jalen Banks has more.
Clyde Bond served in the Army during World War II, and he lived to be 100 years old and passed away just this past Thursday.
For my grandpa, just he was a stereotypical grandpa. Always life lessons. Every time we were together, it was just life lessons. And where his words were few, the way that he lived his life spoke volumes.
Bond's family says that the lessons he's left behind are countless.
He taught me to be honest. He taught me to be hardworking. He taught me that family and faith were very important. Self-sufficiency, able to work things out as much as possible, but always I could go home if I needed help.
Bond, a lifelong Riverton, Kansas native, was a proud Ram all the way up until his passing.
Total supporter of the Riverton Rams, and he was very active in sports as growing up in school there too, and he liked to tell about being the quarterback for the undefeated Riverton Ram team while he was in high school.
Bond's children appreciates the family's longevity and the life they had with their father.
Well, Mom lived till she was 95, Dad lived till he was 100, and grandparents all lived a long time. If I could live to be 100 and be active and everything, that'd be great. We just had a good life. It was a good life in Riverton. It was a good life with him and Mom, and you couldn't ask for anything better.
Bond will be buried next to his wife, Esther, as his final resting place. In Baxter Springs, Kansas, Jalen Banks, KOAM News.
We're all grateful for his service. Clyde Bond is survived by 3 children and 12 grandchildren. Take time now to honor another local veteran of World War II. Herschel Tabor served in the U.S. Army from 1940 to 45. The Webb City, Missouri native served in Company C in the 329th Infantry Regiment, and we are proud to salute Herschel Tabor, a 4-state hero. Coming up, Southwest Airlines prepares to get back on track starting tomorrow. They hope. We're going to look at the amends they plan to make. Plus, Israel's longest-serving prime minister returns to power. Southwest Airlines says it expects to turn to a normal flight schedule tomorrow. The declaration comes after nearly a week of cancellations and delays for as many as 1 million travelers. Michael George has the latest from New York.
Southwest Airlines says it's pre-positioned crews and planes as it anticipates a return to near normal operations Friday.
The anxiety level has become crazy.
But with another holiday weekend bearing down, that recovery can't come soon enough for kidney dialysis patient Jan Bray.
I don't care about my luggage. I don't care if my luggage was in Chicago right now. I just want to go home.
Southwest Airlines canceled more than half its flights Thursday. The company says that number will be less than 40 on Friday. About 4,000 flights are scheduled to take off. CBS News travel editor Peter Greenberg says it will likely cost the company tens of millions of dollars.
Is that going to bankrupt Southwest? Not even close. Is it going to give them a wake-up call? It better.
How badly is the Southwest brand damaged?
My guess is not that badly at all, because they still have a huge reservoir of passenger goodwill.
Southwest is promising refunds for all canceled flights and is urging customers to submit refund and reimbursement requests for meals, hotels, and alternate transportation.
The U.S. Department of Transportation has your back.
Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg says stranded travelers should file a complaint with his office if they have any issues securing their refunds. He sent a letter to Southwest Thursday, laying out expectations and warning he'll hold the company responsible for unacceptable performance if passengers aren't made whole. Michael George, CBS News, New York.
Southwest says affected passengers should visit its website to get the refund process underway. Israel's longest-serving prime minister, Benjamin Netanyahu, is returning to power today, heading up a new government that's raising some concerns. It's been described as Israel's most extreme far-right government since the foundation of the country. Netanyahu was ousted from office last year over opposition to his leadership while on trial for corruption. Doug Heddy is up next with a complete look at the forecast. And a little bit later, Pitt State women's basketball team squares off against Tabor College. We'll have the highlights in sports.
Well, it definitely turned out to be a warm one for us today. 70s, lower 70s. Just 1 week ago, we were sitting below zero. We have had a lot of clouds throughout the day, but it looks pretty good right now. Nice shot of Indigo Sky Casino and Resort just outside of Seneca, Missouri. Temperatures cooling down. We were into the 70s. Now we're dropping back through the 50s as we have a weak little cold front that is slipping through, and thankfully the winds have died down. They're out of the kind of west, northwest now, but they're only going to be at about 5 or 10 miles per hour for us tonight and then into the daytime hours tomorrow, which is good. We'll drop back to 38 by 7 a.m., overnight low around 37, and then back to about 42 by 10 a.m. We are going to continue to see a lot of clouds across the region. You can see the brighter white. Those are showing us those thicker clouds. And even in our southeastern counties, a couple little showers popping up in Benton County, which will kind of skirt up near Branson. But most of us will end up staying on the dry side. In fact, this system kind of splitting around us. Rain to our south. We have snow to the north. All we are getting are the winds, the clouds, and some cooler temperatures as we go through the overnight hours for us tonight and then again into tomorrow. So let's stop at 7 a.m. Temperatures kind of 35 to about 37 degrees. We are going to have mostly cloudy skies. We'll get some sunshine in here, partly sunny throughout the day. By noon, mid-40s, and then once we get to about 4 p.m., I think most of us about 49 to 51. So let's go about 48 in Nevada, Bentonville, 53 in Miami, Chanute, up to about 48 degrees. Clouds kind of in once again tomorrow night, mostly cloudy skies, back into the upper 30s for overnight lows. Saturday overall looks pretty good. Again, a lot of clouds, but temperatures, we warm back up right around 60 for afternoon highs. And then as we go into Saturday evening, of course, New Year's Eve, we want it to stay dry. We are going to stay dry. We are going to have the clouds, but right around midnight, temperatures are going to mainly be sitting into the upper 40s, but at least we're going to be dry, which is great news. Now, our next storm system, that's going to be rolling in, at least giving us much better chances for rain by Monday. All right, day planner on Friday, 38 to start, 48 by noon, high temp of 51, well back to about 50 by 5 p.m., but at least we warm into the 60s on Saturday, 60s on Sunday. Here come the showers early Monday, and we should get a line of thunderstorms Monday afternoon. Some of these could be a little bit stronger, but I think any severe weather mainly stays just south of the region, eastern Oklahoma and the western parts of Arkansas, but of course something we'll keep our eyes on. This system moves out. We have another weak wave that's going to start to push in late Tuesday into Wednesday. You can see a few little snow showers trying to pop up. So that's a wave that we want to keep our eyes on as well as we go into next week. 51 tomorrow, 61 Saturday, 64 on New Year's Day, 66 on Monday. Good chances for thunderstorms. We cool down Tuesday, and then we're going to keep our eyes on that wave on Wednesday for a possible little rain-snow mix.
Doug, thanks. Hey, a winning ticket for Show Me Cash in Missouri has been sold, but no one's claimed it yet. The winning ticket's worth $69,000. It was bought at the State Line store in Pineville, Missouri. The winning numbers from Monday are 3, 9, 18, 19, 21. The winner has until June 24th to claim that prize. So if you bought a ticket in Pineville, you better check it. And if you win, remember that I told you to check that ticket. Danny here. Now the Pitt State women return to action tonight.
Yeah, PSU hits the floor against Tabor College. And the men also host a non-conference opponent this evening, the Avila Eagles. Highlights from both those games coming up. The Pitt State women hit the floor this evening for the first time since December 17th. Pitt State hosts Tabor College for its final non-conference game of the year. First quarter, Alba Lozano gets the offensive rebound, kicks it out to Grace Pyle for the three. Then Pyle finds Erin Davis, bucket for two. Game is tied at 24 after one. Still neck and neck here, Lozano drills it from deep. She finishes with 13 points. Nice night for Sydney Holmes as well. Lays it in. She leads the Gorillas with 15 points tonight. In the third, Pitt State starts to pull away. Harper Schreiner, bucket and foul. Gorillas up by 12. And later, Karenna Gerber banks it in off the glass. She adds a double-double. 5 Gorillas score in the double figures tonight. Pitt State rolls by Tabor 84-69.
I thought Alba and Sid were really good. And Sid I just didn't notice it as much, but when you look at her stats, like, wow. She had some really good drives, really aggressive drives that second half. So I think Sid definitely put herself in some positions to get some good scores. And Alba, I really think her ability to work on her positioning and rebounding early, she really just kind of roots in there and lets the ball drop to her, and then she's in a good position to score it. So I thought she had a really outstanding game.
The Pitt State men also face an out-of-conference opponent this evening, the Avila Eagles. Gorillas start fast. Quentin Hardrick sinks an early three. He scores 15. Then R.J. Forney knocks it down from the corner. Pitt State quickly forces a timeout. They stay rolling. Forney with a nice pass. Calvin Pulina finishes off the glass. A few plays later, Deshaun English drives, bucket and one. English finishes with another double-double tonight, his 6th of the season. Pitt State leads 22-4, and later Jeremy Shaw hits the quick release three. Pittsburgh State beats Avila 66-54. The Oklahoma Sooners wrap up their first season under head coach Brent Venables today, facing 13th-ranked Florida State in the Cheez-It Bowl. The Sooners lead at half, but the Seminoles come back and hit a field goal in the final minute to win it 35-32. Javante Barnes rushes for 108 yards and a score. Marvin Mims tallies 77 yards on 2 catches. Soccer legend Pele has died at the age of 82 after battling cancer. The Brazilian will forever be known as one of the greatest soccer players of all time. Michael George has the story.
Team Brazil paid tribute to Pele at the 2022 World Cup in Qatar with a banner bearing his photo, while fans back home prayed for the ailing soccer legend. To many, Pele is to soccer what Babe Ruth is to baseball and Muhammad Ali is to boxing, a singular athlete and personality who lifted his sport to new heights. Regarded as one of the greatest soccer players of all time, if not the greatest, Pele is so important to his native Brazil, he was declared a national treasure, which also made it difficult for him to play for any other country. Pele's accomplishments on the field are staggering. He led Brazil to 3 World Cup championships, the only person in history to win soccer's most prestigious event 3 times. He scored 77 times in 92 games for Brazil's national team. Over his career, he found the back of the net more than 1,200 times.
I got the gift from God to play football.
Born Edson Arantes do Nascimento, Pele used his soccer talents to help lift his family out of poverty. He was only 17 years old at the 1958 World Cup in Sweden when he became an international star. He scored 3 goals in a semifinal win and 2 more times in a finals victory over the host nation.
There he is, the man they've been waiting for here in New York City.
In 1975, Pele helped popularize soccer in America. At age 34, he joined the New York Cosmos, signing a $2.8 million contract that made him the highest paid athlete in the world.
That time I have opportunity to learn English, to give opportunity to my family, my sons, my daughter.
10 million people tuned into his debut match, a record TV audience for a soccer broadcast in the U.S. Following his career, Pele remained an international superstar, putting the power of his celebrity behind various causes, including world peace and preventing childhood poverty. And he never stopped promoting the sport he loved, the one that made Pele a symbol of a nation and a hero for generations of soccer fans. Michael George, CBS News.
And in 1999, he was named Athlete of the Century by the International Olympic Committee.
It's amazing. This huge name in the world's most popular sport, and even those of us like me who don't really follow soccer closely, familiar with Pele. Everybody knew about Pele.
Yeah, great soccer career and off the field, too.
Great story in general. We'll be right back. Let's check back with Doug Hattie for our final look at the weather.
Well, it's going to be a little bit cooler for us tomorrow, but not a bad Friday. A high temperature right around 51 degrees. But look at this, 60s return Saturday and Sunday for your holiday weekend. Thunderstorms, pretty good bet, especially Monday afternoon. A little bit cooler Tuesday, and then possibly a little rain snow mix on Wednesday, which we'll definitely keep our eyes on.
But those temps, not too bad. Danny, final look at the sports.
Pitt State men and women both win today. Deshaun English gets his 6th double-double of the season.
Impressive. Thanks for joining us. Morning show starts at 5 a.m. Let's make it a great tomorrow.